Hey, how's it going everyone? Welcome back to Keeping Fish Simple. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking about my fish room. I finished up setting up all of the aquariums in here. Some of the stuff is looking real good and some of the stuff's just doing absolutely appalling. So today we're going to be talking about all of the stuff that I've got going on in here. If you guys are new to the channel, please consider subscribing, and without any further ado, let's go have a look at the stuff. So when you have a look at the room, this is what it's currently looking like. So I've got 4 aquariums here. I've got 2 100 litres, and then these are both 220 litres, so they're 4 foots, 2 foots, and then 2 more 2 foots here, but these are 80 litres. So this is currently being medicated, and that's why it looks so dark, and it's also got a ton of surface algae. This one is currently getting cycled. It's got a bunch of Java Fern in there. These 2 are basically quarantine tanks slash grow out slash breeders, and these 2 tanks you've seen before. I've changed the species in the top one, and we've got Kribensis down below, which you guys have seen. So we're going to run through these aquariums, and in the other room I've got like my danios growing out, and I've also got this disgusting little tank that we're going to fix up later on. So we'll start off with this aquarium. So this aquarium is a 4 footer, and it's designed to be a river aquarium. This is a very low flowing river. In this aquarium we've got a bunch of Amazon swords here, we've got a bunch of crypts here, crypt wendis, a bunch of stuff down there. We've got some Anubias here, and we've also got some Java Fern up the back. And we've also got a bunch of surface algae, as you can see here. It's really good with the iPhones, you can really focus on that kind of stuff. But in here we've got some of these koi angels, which I've had for ages, and these guys are getting super plump, and they're all starting to pair off. So there's a pair here, and they're kind of protecting this corner, and they'll be fighting off all the people that come nearby. So you can see here he's getting a little bit territorial, and so this aquarium's doing well. There's a bunch of gold vine, and there's also some of this mopani wood down below, and I've also added a bunch of albino corridores. So the reason this tank's so dark is because I've been medicating it with a multi-cure that has some methylene green and methylene blue in there, and it's made the aquarium really dark. So we're currently coming out of that, and there's also a bunch of surface algae. And I've got this little, this Kribensis, this stray Kribensis that I've had for a long time. I'm looking to get rid of him. He's in here, and he's been completely messing up my substrate and just being an absolute turd. You can see him up the back there. It's really hard to focus on anything in this aquarium. It's not doing too well. Everything in there is healthy. It's just obviously very unappealing to look at and kind of messy. But it'll come good within the next couple of weeks, especially once those bristlenose start to kick in and clean out the aquarium's algae, and help me out with that. So moving down below, I've just made a video on this which will release on the weekend, but I have attached all of this Java Fern to these pieces of Malaysian driftwood in this aquarium with like this riverbed sand, and this aquarium is looking pretty cool. So this is another 4-foot aquarium which is going to be designed for the fish that I have in here as a breeder. So this is a 4-footer, and in here I have obviously all this Malaysian driftwood, but on the Malaysian driftwood I have some common Java Fern there. I've got some crested Java Fern, and I've got some needle leaf Java Fern. So this will come out really cool in a couple of months or even like a year. It'll just be a massive jungle of this stuff, and it'll come out and it'll look really, really cool. So that's what's happening in this aquarium. Not much. I've just been filtering it very low filter with some sponge filters, as you can see here. And I like to make my aquariums as simple as possible and easy as possible to maintain, so that's why I've kept that. And then moving on to here, these are my zebra danios, and I've also added some tiger endlers, which you saw me post about on the weekend. So these are purebred tiger endlers. I've got 2 pairs in here, and they are cohabitating really well with the zebra danios in here. As you can see, they just look absolutely awesome. I love how small they are and peaceful, and these are a really good breed. They're really well taken care of, and they're doing really well in here. And I've also got a bristlenose pleco pair. So these are just commons. There's a female up here on the filter, as you can see there. She's huge, like literally the size of my thumb, like massive. And then this guy in here, he's got a bunch of eggs in there which are going to be coming out in a few days, and we'll have to strip them. But he's doing really well in there too, and this aquarium's like doing what it needs to be doing right now. I'm going to be moving these tiger endlers to another aquarium. I'm not sure which one, but these guys, these zebra danios, are going to cohabitate in this tank, and they're going to be getting stripped out every now and then when I want to breed them and get some eggs. But they're doing really well, and you can see how big these females are. They're super fat. I actually had the other day, I left the aquarium lid about this far open, and one of the males obviously went for a mosquito or something, and I came out in the morning and he was dried up on the floor. So those are the kind of problems you end up with when we're keeping the fish. It's not good, but it just does happen. So moving on down below here, these are some Praecox rainbows. So these are my dwarf neon rainbow fish, and these are for a new project. So these boys are going through quarantine now. They had a bit of fungus, as you can see here, like this guy. He's got a little bit of stuff, so we're cleaning them all up and getting them good looking. They're eating food. They seem to be healthy and active. I've got 8 of them in here, and they're going to be going into this aquarium once it's fully cycled and once these guys are healed up in here. They're looking real good. They've got awesome color, they're an awesome size, and they'll be ready for breeding really soon. So I'm super happy with these guys. We've got a few males, like this guy up the back here I think is a male, and we've got a bunch of good looking females here. They're super big boys, and I'm super happy with this aquarium. And then moving on to here. So this is a real funny story. This aquarium has my favorite fish in the entire hobby at the moment, which is the Apistogramma Krakatoa. So I've just picked up a pair, and as you can see, the male's here, and they're doing well. They're just a little bit stressed out. They've only been in here for about a day. But the funny thing is, I was originally given a pair of these guys by the fish store, and the next morning they were not Krakatoas, and I bought them as Krakatoas, so I had to take them back. And we just got the next pair in today, and it turns out only the males are Krakatoas. We actually got stitched up, and we got given a Apistogramma McMasteri female. So she's up the back here. She's got nothing to do with our boy. You can see her there. She wants nothing to do with our Krakatoas boy, and he wants nothing to do with her. So we're going to have to get her replaced for a double red Krakatoas female, and then we'll get some breeding going on in here. We obviously have to add a few coconut hides to here, but this aquarium looks really sick. Like, it's super natural looking. There's a bit of glare here. I'll try and get rid of that. But you can see there's all this gold vine at the back and tons of plants. And I've had this for a while, and it's just starting to really come good and look natural. And these guys are already starting to eat, and he's got good color, so I can imagine that he's going to turn out to be a really good dad. And once he puts on a bit of size, he'll be awesome. And then down here, you guys have seen this aquarium a million times. This is the Kribensis / bristlenose pleco factory. In here, we've got our pair of Kribensis. They're somewhere in here. They've been smashing all these, what are they called? These mosquito larvae that I've got in here. These guys are super happy, showing heaps of color. I really haven't got them to lay much yet. I think they've been laying, but they're not very good parents. They're kind of stupid, and they've not been doing a good job. But on the other hand, this dude here is an awesome dad, and he's been breeding like crazy. And we've got tons of these little boys in here and little girls everywhere. And in this aquarium, we have this big Amazon sword here, and we've got a bunch of crypt wendi and some anubias and a bunch of algae and all kinds of stuff. It's a really natural aquarium, and it's looking real good. And I'm super happy with how this one's turned out as well. I love to have an awesome balance of nature in all the tanks. And yeah, so we can move out. This is like the last aquarium in this room, so we can move on to the other room. So you guys have definitely seen this room before. This is a 40-litre tank down here, and this is a grow-out tank for the danios. So if you want an update on the danios, they're doing awesome, putting on heaps of size. I've had to cull a few of these guys out and make sure that they all have good shapes. But you can see how many there are. We've got so many of these guys. And also in here, we've got a bunch of bristlenose pleco babies, which are doing really well. And we've got a few little guys in here, which I've just opened up this little breeder box. You can get these on my website or whatever you want to do. But these are super awesome if you want to have a compact breeding setup, because you can just put baby fish in here and then move them and do whatever you want. I've opened this up, and they've slowly been feeding into this aquarium. And then in here, I've got another set of tiger antlers. So this guy looks a little bit different, and you can see here, he's trying to breed with the female. They're super healthy. This guy looks a bit different. He's apparently meant to be a pure strain, which means he's only been bred with other antlers and never with another guppy. So we'll see how they turn out. I'm definitely going to be crossbreeding and doing a bunch of little videos where I'm crossbreeding these guys with the tiger antlers in the other room and trying to see what we can get, and some really strong strains, because a lot of the time now with the live bearers, we can get some inbreeding, and then we end up with really unhealthy and weak guppies, and yeah, it just turns into a massive mess, like what you can see down here. So this is just an absolutely disgusting aquarium. I've kind of let it get way out of hand. I'm just showing you this because I want to show you that the fish hobby isn't all rainbows and sunshine. I mean, you can end up with stuff like this. I've tried cleaning it out. This aquarium's just not doing well, so we're going to be definitely taking it down and resetting it up and trying to sort out what's happening in there, because that's just not on. There's a bunch of algae. The fish are doing like decent, but the fish are so inbred and they've never been bred to have a bunch of different bloodlines put into it, so it's kind of turned out to be a massive mess, and I'm not too proud of that. But that's pretty much what's happening in my world at the moment. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you guys are enjoying the videos that are coming up. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.